Barbie, Ishtar, and the Smashed Babies? Could a doll from the 1950s in a Hollywood movie be linked to an ancient Mesopotamian goddess and the potential end times? It's time for a deep dive into this intriguing connection. The recent Blockbuster movie centered around Barbie, the iconic girls' doll from the late 1950s, has raised some alarming questions about the state of our culture. While Ben Shapiro's review highlighted the movie's inherent silliness, I aim to explore its deeper spiritual implications. This movie may very well be the most widespread anti-man production ever made. Never before have we seen a children's movie so intent on indoctrinating young girls against men. It's a testament to how rapidly our culture is deteriorating. Let's examine a revealing scene that sheds light on the movie's true nature. In one dialogue, Barbie herself utters these words. By giving voice to the cognitive dissonance required to be a woman under the patriarchy, you robbed it of its power. This type of communication is far from normal. It resembles the language found in radical feminist handbooks or propaganda films of past dictatorships. It's clear that we're dealing with a serious agenda masked as entertainment. Some might argue that it's just a fun movie, but therein lies the point. It's not merely about fun. The inclusion of such words and phrases suggests a more sinister intention. When we think of children's entertainment, cognitive dissonance and the patriarchy are not the first words that come to mind. These are tools of propaganda and brainwashing, targeted at your daughters. The strategic use of a doll as the focal point of this propaganda is ingenious. It allows for the subtle indoctrination of children, who are impressionable and easily influenced. These seeds planted in their minds will shape the future of our culture. What about the persistent use of the word patriarchy? It's presented as an unquestionable reality in the movie, echoing the rhetoric of radical feminism. This word is part of an ideology that often harbors deep-seated hatred towards men. Its repetition in the movie is not accidental. The film depicts men as either evil or dangerous. At the beginning, they are portrayed as useless creatures with no purpose, and as the story progresses, they take over Barbie's world, brainwashing women into submission. The movie aims to dismantle the institution of marriage, which radical feminism sees as oppressive. Agreeable girlfriends are also deemed evil, as men themselves are considered inherently wicked. The idea of men and women loving, needing, and complementing each other is rejected in this movie. Instead, women are encouraged to separate themselves from men and find fulfillment in being with other women. They are taught not to need men, believing they can fulfill all roles traditionally associated with manhood on their own. Similarly, men are discouraged from needing women, as they supposedly can satisfy all the functions of womanhood without them. Now imagine a movie targeting boys that portrayed women as inferior, useless, and evil beings that needed to be conquered, with boys or men separating themselves from them. The reaction would be outrage, yet Hollywood is vilifying half of humanity, and it's deemed acceptable. The movie's triumph lies in the women manipulating men, exploiting their perceived weaknesses and stupidity. Men are shown as prone to extreme violence, constantly on the brink of exploding. This manipulation tactic is a common feature in propaganda films. Communist propaganda depicts capitalists as evil oppressors ready to subjugate the common people. Nazi propaganda blames Jews for societal problems, portraying them as a malevolent force. The Barbie movie's subtext and underlying messaging paint a troubling picture. It pushes an agenda of indoctrinating young girls against men, undermining the concept of marriage, and promoting separation between genders. This movie is not as innocent as it may appear on the surface. It serves as a vehicle for propagandizing and shaping the minds of future generations.